My home country, Australia. I imagine that most of the people watching this are going to be from Melbourne, so I figured I'd also include Victoria instead of just talking about the Great Barrier Reef. So the drought in Victoria has been becoming worse. According to the State of the Climate report from Australia in 2018, there's been a decline of 11% in rainfall in the southeast of Australia, which includes Victoria, and many areas were getting the lowest rainfall on record actually, including East Melbourne and the centre of Victoria in general. Extreme heat events are also increasing each year, as you can see on this graph. The lack of rain and the increased heat increase the fire danger a lot. We can see the regions that are most affected, and red means more fire, blue means less fire. You can probably get the hang of it. We also have some of the Australian Alps in Victoria, and the snow depth there has been decreasing over recent years. And now moving on to one of the tourist destinations that Australia is very well known for, and that is the Great Barrier Reef. When we think about warmer temperatures, I think we generally think about surface air temperature, so, in the areas that humans will live, and we kind of forget about the ocean. The oceans have been heating up as well, and that has a really massive impact on wildlife, especially coupled with carbon dioxide absorption, which acidifies the oceans. So the thing that I found out is that oceans can actually have heat waves as well, and this leads to coral bleaching, which is basically the breakdown of the relationship between coral and these things that they're in a symbiotic relationship with that I can't pronounce very well. Zooxanthellae. Nailed it. And this is an issue because corals can't survive long without them. Coral bleaching has always happened, and coral can recover from them, but it's only if they don't stay that way for very long. Whereas now with the temperatures rising in the oceans, the periods of coral bleaching are getting longer and they're happening more frequently. So that means that corals are much more likely to die from such events. In 2016, it was found that 30% of all coral cover in the Great Barrier Reef had been lost. And if you think about how big the Great Barrier Reef is, that's really massive. Another factor in coral bleaching events, and something that's just generally affecting the marine ecosystem, is ocean acidification. The uptake of atmospheric carbon dioxide increases the pH in oceans, and because everyone associates the Great Barrier Reef with Cairns, I'm just gonna go with the figure near Cairns right now. So in the ocean near Cairns, the pH has decreased by about 0.1 of a unit on the pH scale, which translates into a more than 30% increase in acidity. I did study chemistry at some point, but I'm just going to take the State of the Climate report's word for that. This also doesn't only affect coral, it affects pretty much all of marine life, with changes in reproduction, organism growth, species composition and distributions, food web structures, and nutrient availability and calcification. Calcification is important for the species that need shells or skeletons made of calcium carbonate like corals and shellfish. So there has been a reduction in coral calcification and therefore coral growth in the Great Barrier Reef. If you want to mention anything that I might have missed, leave it in the comments. I'd be happy to find out more. And you can check out my other videos about other areas of the world.